Well, hello everybody and welcome to the channel. This is the Thomas Chuck channel and I'm sitting here with Mr. Zig. Mr. Zig, how are you?
I'm doing great, Thomas. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I hope that everybody out there is having a good time and watching the NCAA. That would be nice. Hope everybody out there is enjoying their brackets. I know that we are going to have another podcast about that at the end of the tournament, so just stay tuned for that. Today, we are going to go over some JB Pritzker, the old JB, governor of Illinois. Mr. Zig, have you heard anything about the Project 2029 is what he's calling it?
No, I haven't. Is this if he becomes president?
If he becomes president, these are the things that he wants to accomplish after being sworn in.
So does this confirm that he is going to run?
I would think so.
You think this is a confirmation of him running then?
Here's the one thing that we can hope for is that Chicago sends him a clear message that he has no way in hell of winning the governorship of Illinois, more or less the presidency. So we're going to hope that Chicago, what do they call themselves? Turn Chicago Red, I believe, is the organization, and it's a lot of African Americans up there that are pissed about the way this state is being run. They are really, really, really pissed because the governor and the mayor of Chicago has said, screw the African American communities. We are looking out after the illegals. We're putting them up in these fancy hotels, presidential suites for free, paying for everything. And the African American community, though you're struggling, we're going to raise your property taxes to help pay to support the illegals in these fancy hotels. So they are really, really pissed about that. And so JB sits down with a New York Times reporter, and it's a podcast of the New York Times. And he has a few things to say here about, I guess, in the future if he becomes president. So let's take a listen. I mean, this is an hour-long program, and I did the research on this, so I sat through the whole damn thing. I mean, there's just this the conversation of the 2029 project is about the meat and bones of the whole hour and 7 minutes or whatever. So we'll play a little bit because it's pretty quick into the conversation that he gets to that.
Comfortable talking about your family's wealth.
Is that a statement?
It's a statement and a question.
I guess so.
I'm Lulu Garcia Navarro, and today I'm in Springfield, Illinois, to speak with Illinois Governor JB Pritzker. Pritzker has been governor here since 2018, and he's running for a rare third term. He's also become one of President Trump's chief antagonists.
If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
And partially because of that, many people see him as a strong contender for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020.
And when he made that statement, he is talking about the illegals, because that was when President Trump wanted to bring in ICE and the National Guard to help straighten out Chicago like they did Washington, D.C. That's when he made that statement. So if you're coming after my people, what he meant there is illegals, then you have got to go through him to get them.
28. He's not saying anything about his plans quite yet, though. A former businessman from one of America's most wealthy and influential families, being a progressive billionaire has become central to Pritzker's brand. But as anti-billionaire sentiment grows on the left, that's also a potential source of tension. So we get into that and also where he sees his party going. Here's my conversation with Illinois Governor JB Pritzker. Governor Pritzker, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to have you on the interview.
Great to be with you, Lulu.
It's a bit of a gray day here in Springfield, Illinois, but we are at the governor's mansion, which is really impressive, very beautiful. Lots of Abraham
it's so
Lincoln.
nice
In fact,
that
there's a bust over
I
there
wish
of
I stayed
Abraham
in.
Lincoln. Does it
I thought he was going to say, well, this is the first time I've ever been here. To be honest with you.
Yeah, now the last governor, because he made it a point that he said that he was staying at the mansion, governor's mansion, and Rauner. So he was from Chicago, and so, but he did stay there. I don't think JB's staying there. He's too much up in Chicago.
feel weird to have him sort of looming over you sometimes?
No, it's really wonderful, actually. I mean, to think about, this is the state that produced the greatest president that we've ever had. And a state that's produced other great presidents too, like Barack Obama and Ulysses S. Grant, and Ronald Reagan. So, we're proud.
I've forgotten that he was born here.
Yeah.
It always seems such a product of California.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the world, a lot going on in your state, but I want to start with more of a philosophical question. When we look at this moment and this era, which is so dominated, obviously, by the president, I've been really thinking about how he wields executive power. And I'm wondering what you think the lesson for Democrats is from President Trump and how he has wielded power to get what he wants.
I think it's a lesson for everyone that gets elected to office in an executive post. I think that what President Trump has done is, operate like the president of a banana republic, or as if he were an authoritarian. That is, now he's got power. He's going to vanquish his enemies and rule in favor of the people who will enrich him. And I think that the lesson is for the country that this is a dangerous road that we've gone down, putting someone like that in public office. We need to stand up against corruption. We need to stand up and make sure that whoever it is that gets elected is someone who's good and decent and kind. I think kindness is something that's been missing in our politics. So you could say that's a lesson for Democrats. I think it's a lesson for all elected officials.
You're sort of talking about overreach and ruling like an authoritarian, which is one version of looking at that. Another version, though, I think, is how he's really been able to push through an aggressive agenda. The shock and awe theory of governance, if you will. I've heard so many voters complain, and I'm sure you've heard this too, about incrementalism, about, all the promises that get made when you're running for office and then feeling
I complain about it too.
Everything gets stymied once someone gets into office.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if there are lessons to be taken from the frustration of voters and the way that he's managed to do it.
Yeah. Let me begin by saying that I ran on an agenda as governor. I ran on a very bold agenda, and I swiftly enacted that agenda. And my first year in office really accomplished most of what I ran on, which were big things. I think that is the way to operate, there's no doubt. And that we as Democrats, if there's a lesson, it's that there should be a Project 2029 for Democrats. Now, remember, though, that Project 2025 also included taking away people's rights and freedoms. It included tearing down the safety net that holds up our working families and that stands up for the most vulnerable in our society. So there are things about the agenda that I think
That
are
obviously you don't agree with.
not just that. I think they're reprehensible and they're anti-democratic. But yes, the speed of the agenda, and it's not shock and awe so much as run on the agenda. When you run and win on an agenda, you can accomplish that agenda and need to do it as soon as possible. The problem is Donald Trump would say things, and now he's doing things that are very different. Remember, he said, we're not going to cut Medicaid. That's precisely what he's done.
What does a Project 2029 agenda look like for you?
I don't think you can speak of it in shorthand, but I'll just say a couple of things that I think are absolutely necessary. One is we've got to restore the rule of law, and that means holding people accountable who've broken the law. I'm talking about in this administration, when we get a new one, the people in this administration who've broken the law and federal agents who've broken the law need to be held accountable.
And that means criminally prosecuted.
Criminally prosecuted, civilly prosecuted, whatever it is that we can do, right? It may be that you can't criminally prosecute somebody, but that you can go after them civilly. So that's one thing. But a second thing, just thinking about people's everyday lives, right? I mean, just lifting people up and making things more affordable in the world. How about finally, we Democrats get to universal health care? Obamacare was terrific and it advanced the cause. But we still have a whole lot of people that don't have coverage. And now, of course, it's being taken away from a lot of people. So that's part of the agenda, universal health care. Another part of the agenda is we've got to raise the minimum wage in this country. You know, the minimum wage is $7.25. It's about $14,000 a year. If you have one full-time job, you can't survive on 14. As a single person, you can't.
There's no place in the country.
And even if you hold two minimum wage jobs, $28,000 a year. You can't raise a family on that. Maybe you could survive alone on that. So why are we allowing people to live at $7.25? By the way.
So why is he talking about minimum wage when every city or every state out there is at $15?
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's coming up with $7.
I don't know why that's even brought up, because the minimum wage is not being. There is no job out there paying $7.25 an hour.
I don't think
You get more than that from McDonald's.
Yeah,
you're making $15 an hour, $14, maybe $13 an hour through McDonald's.
Yeah, she should question him on that.
Right.
You say we're in Illinois, you're only getting $7 an hour. Where are they getting it?
Yeah,
maybe there is a state that I don't know of, but it is in Illinois.
Right. And I like the way, so the Project 29 is basically I want to be king when if I am elected president. I want to be able to say, Trump, we are going after you. Pam Bondi, we are going after you. But Mayorkas and Biden, nah, those guys didn't break the law, even though it was clear that they broke the law. Anytime. And is he going to go after himself for breaking the law as far as immigration laws go? Is he going to go after himself? No, we're just going to concentrate on the people in the Trump administration. Democrat administrations, they didn't break the law in my eyes. And I look at it like this. Yes, go after the ones in Trump's administration that broke the law. Go after the ones in Biden's. Go after the ones in Obama. You know, you do all the Clintons. If you can go back to Clinton and get some wrongdoing, go after them. That's the way it should be. Shouldn't be politicians looking out for politicians.
Well, so it irritates me about politics in general. He's thinking about who they're going to go after.
Right.
You know, and he's running for president. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
So tell me what you're going to do if you become president to make the country better. That's not going to make the country better, going after anybody.
That's
you know
just
what?
going after your political opponents.
Yes, that does nothing for no one.
I want to do
a waste of time. Nobody. Trump's 80 years old by the time he gets out.
Oh God,
He
he'd be
doesn't
older
give
than
a
that.
damn. They're not going to do anything to him. What, you're going to feel good?
Dude, like they did last time in the Biden administration, let's make shit up to go after Trump. That is all they're going to do.
That does nothing for no one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, for the country.
right.
You know,
So we're going to go
what's he
after.
want to raise minimum wage to? $40 an hour?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, Tom, you can raise it. Hell, you got $100 an hour. What do you think where you work at, the products you make? Do you think they'll have to raise their price?
Yeah.
Why would they have to raise it to cover the costs? People they're paying to work there.
Here is where I turn into a Democrat. Because I look at it like this. The company that I work for, their CEO probably takes down, I'll have to look at it because I'm just guessing, but I would imagine he's probably taken down 26, 27 million dollars a year. So you're going to pay me $20 to do the job. And bitch, if I want a raise, but hey, we have no concerns. We have nothing to say. CEO, yeah, here's you another couple of million. They don't talk about, well, now wait a minute, Mr. CEO. How many times have you heard any company, big, large company say, wait a minute, Mr. CEO, if we give you another $5 million a year on top of the $30 million we're already paying you, that is going to affect the price of what we make. How many times have you heard that said?
None.
No, none.
I'll go.
But by God, when they talk about raising minimum wage or raising the employees' wages, it always affects the cost.
I understand, and it does.
CEOs, CFOs, all the bigwigs, we can pat down $20 million a year, and it doesn't affect that.
I mean,
but by God, if Tom wants a raise, then yes. So I have. That's the only thing of Democrats that I agree with is that the salaries are way out of control. Why is somebody making $32 million? And then their theory is and you're making me protector look at Democrats, and I don't like that. But their theory is that, well, we'll pay our CEOs and CFOs what we want. That's none of your business. You just worry about when we have to pay our employees, how it affects the cost of the product. But this CEO is making $35 million a year, $35 million a year. We're going to give him a $5 million bonus at the end of the year. Plus, we're going to raise his salary another $5 million. That's got nothing to do with the price of that product. Bullshit. Come on.
Plus when he leaves, you know what he gets?
Oh, here we take a buyout.
He gets a severance.
A severance pay. Yeah.
More money than he'll ever see.
Yes.
But okay. Anyway.
So don't make me agree with fucking Democrats again. But as far as that goes, the Project 2029, you can see what he's going after his political opponents, which he now says that Trump is the king and going after his political opponents. But I look at it like this, Mr. Zig. Any politician breaks the law, then by God, they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of that law. Any. Not here, I'm a Democrat, and this Democrat breaks the law. I don't see that. But boy, that Republican breaks the same law that Democrat did, and by God, we're going after him. We got to get him. That is where politics has got to stop. I mean, if
It
you
does.
break the
It
law,
does have to stop. I agree. This is getting us nowhere fast.
and it's all bipartisan, is all it is.
Sure it
You
is.
know, we are going to protect our own, and then yes, we're going to go after you, Republican, but we're going to protect your a career politician, so we're going to take care of you. You know, I mean, this is getting way out of hand, and the reason why it is getting way out of hand is because the crooked bastard knows that I'm going to get voted right back in. That politician knows I'm getting right back in. Chuck Schumer knows I'm getting voted right back in.
You know, all the politicians, you know what they all really just care about
What's that?
is having the majority in the House, majority in the Senate.
Yeah,
We're not running on anything. We just need to have more votes than you guys, so then we can do whatever we want. And there's no bipartisan in Washington at all.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
Well, and-
it's just embarrassing, really.
why isn't his Project 29 looking at getting rid of the filibuster in the Senate? Why isn't it majority rules? They do it in the House, but for some reason and somehow and at some point in the Senate's tender, they said, hey, wait a minute, we're going to have it to where you got to at least have 60 votes. So you may have to go after, 5 or 10 of the opposite parties people to get you to vote. Why did that come into effect? Why would they do that? Why don't you just look at it like the House majority? You got the majority, but that's why they're fighting over this damn ID bill. Is because because they know, and Thune isn't going to say we're getting rid of it. We're getting rid of the filibuster. Bam, we got the votes. Bam, let's make this historic that you have to be an American citizen, but yet that dipshit's running around saying, "Oh no, we're not. We got to get them. We got to get them on our side. We got to convince them, and at least they'll be on the record to say what they, fuck that. Get rid of the filibuster altogether. Yes, we may pay a price later on down the road in 2 years, next year, this year, may lose the Senate, but at least you got that in your pocket with the ID. That's the most important thing. It's a law now that you have to be an American citizen to vote.
How can you be against that?
I don't know. Democrats are though, ain't they?
Seems like, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
else does JD have to say here? This is interesting.
The only other
just going to
thing,
put down Trump for an hour.
yeah,
Is that pretty much what this is? Trump bashing again.
I mean,
jeez.
So he did have one other thing that she should have had a comeback on, and let's get to it. Yeah, there was one other part in this interview that she should have had a follow-up question to, but she didn't. And this is it should be right.
It was an atrium lobby hotel, the first one in the United States, and it was a hugely successful hotel. It was the start of something big. I only mention that because I think we overlook kind of how hard it is to build something like that from scratch.
Yeah, no, I mean, extraordinary. And he helped build, the Hyatt Hotel Group. You are uncomfortable talking about your family's wealth.
Is that a statement?
It's a statement and a question.
I guess so. I'm proud. I really am proud. I'm also feel incredibly lucky. I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just uncomfortable with the assumptions that people make about you. And so I know how lucky I was and am. So I think that obviously was part of what shaped me. I also think, though, that the values that my parents taught me about social justice and compassion, I think those are all things that, whether you're wealthy or you're poor or you're middle class, like those values that you grow up with are who you are. And it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have resources, you can maybe do more to carry out those values, for other people, perhaps. But that's how I think about it. And I know that when I ran for governor, for example, in 2017, that Donald Trump was president of the United States, and here comes a wealthy guy running as a Democrat for governor. So I get it. I understand people had that in their heads. But again, I had to go everywhere in the state and talk to everybody so people could understand that, that it's where your heart is, it's what your values are that matters, not how much you have or how little you have.
Fair. How much are you worth?
You can read magazines that will estimate what I'm worth. So I obviously have had investments. It's all in a blind trust now. I couldn't tell you what it's worth.
I ask because I'm wondering how much financial transparency do you think politicians owe voters?
Oh, well,
So right there, if I would have been sitting there, so it's in a blind trust. So you could be worth nothing right now. So you ain't keeping track of it at all. So somebody could do like what you career politicians do, just swifled it away and you got nothing. Is there any possibility, JB, that could have happened?
Spoken like a true politician.
Yeah.
He avoided the whole question. I'll give him that. He could have just said, I've been told I'm worth this much.
Yeah.
I'm more than what I'm worth. I'm more, he could brag on himself then, instead of just kind of, oh, well.
But he explained real good there that why him being a billionaire is better than Trump
being a billionaire. I mean, he had to compare himself right away, which I guess that's why people voted for him, because, Donald Trump was the president and everybody voted for him because he was rich. So,
well, the people here in Illinois, and especially up in Chicago, they all sat back and said, well, wait a minute. He's a Democrat. He says that he's a billionaire. So maybe he's not. Let's vote him in. Let's vote him in. He's got more compassion as a billionaire than what Donald Trump does. So let's vote him in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, his billions didn't influence anybody, especially up in Chicago.
He compared himself to Donald Trump for about 2 seconds there.
Yeah.
About.
But his compassion is more than Donald Trump's. So that's why his billions are better than Donald Trump's billions. Yeah. So to wrap it up then, Project 2029 for JB, if he's elected.
Now, is this his idea? Is this what he's come out with? His Project 2029 is his, not the Democratic Party.
Now that I don't know. I have not seen anybody else tied to it. It's only been mentioned through him.
That's first I've heard of it. So I didn't know if this was a Democratic Party plan or is this a JB plan? Yeah,
well, it may be starting at JB and working its way. Do you know how the Democrats are?
Well,
they'll all be on the same fucking page.
It'd be interesting to see where he goes with this thing, because this, like I said, this first I've heard of this, and see how many times he mentions it here in the
it's coming. Well, you still got a ways to go.
Well, you got the midterm.
They're going to build it, and I'm sure he's going to have Democrats on board to help build the Project 2029. And here's what we want to do. Like Project 2025 that the Republicans have, which some of the stuff was making politicians responsible for the actions that they take.
So you think this is something they will try to implement in 2029 after the midterms? This isn't called a 2030. after
Right.
after the general election again.
Right.
So this is after the midterms. This is my plan.
Yeah. What JB is going to do, let's say he is president 2029. January 20th of 2029, he's sworn in. Then what he is going to do, he's going to have his AG, Attorney General, look, okay, what did Trump's administration and the people in it do that broke the law? Because that's what they always say, look, what broke the law? Just like when the 5 or 6 Democrats come out and said to the military people, do not take a unlawful order. Yeah. So it's just bullshit. But they that's what he is going to advise or tell his AG. Let's look and see what they've done, and then go after them, prosecute them.
I got you. Yeah. See, I was confused. I was thinking, general election was in 2030. No, it's in 2028.
Yeah.
My years mixed up. So I see where they're coming up with the 2029 to implement it.
Because January.
2029. I got you now. Yes.
Yeah.
I need to correct myself there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm getting the years are going by fast.
I'll tell you. Yes. Yeah. So, but that's his whole deal right there. So now Trump thinks he is a king if he goes after the people that went after him during the 4 years he wasn't president. He thinks he's a king, and he just after his political opponents, which I have not heard Trump say anything to Pam Bondi, get that fucking Joe Biden. Have you heard him?
No.
I want Joe Biden and I want Kamala Harris in fucking jail. Go after them, Pam. I've never heard him.
No, that would be like.
I remember.
God, wouldn't that be senior abuse?
Well,
basically, I mean, come on.
But
are you going to feel good about going after? He wouldn't go after Hillary Clinton.
After 2016, and after making that statement when she said that we do not need a man like Donald Trump in charge of our laws, and he says because you'd be in jail.
I remember that very well.
Boy, everybody clap. Whoa, yes. And then he got right back out, got elected, got into office, never gave President Trump, never gave 2 shits about the 30,000 emails that she deleted after he became president. It was all about them fucking emails, working his way up to being president. Let's talk about them. You deleted. Let's talk about, boy, we want those 30. And then after he got into presidency, he never looked at Jeff Sessions and said, go after her. I want her ass in jail, and you can do it because you know where all the smoking guns are lying, and you know that what she did was wrong. Go after her. Never did. What'd he do? I just don't think it. I can't do.
You're doing a good Bill Clinton there.
I'm doing Clinton. Yeah, I can't do.
Go ahead. I think Bill might be for it.
I just can't go after. It just wouldn't look right for the first lady of a president being in jail. What the hell? What the hell?
I don't think he thought it was worth his time. He's like, no, that's in the past. Hell with her. We're moving on. I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
And like this guy, JB, but the first thing he's going to do when he gets in there, he wants to go after everybody.
In Trump's administration.
Yes.
Yeah. Mayorkas never broke the law.
And I believe he would do it. I believe this guy would do
you're
it.
damn right.
Trump kind of like just, okay, let's, I'm in. Let's run the country now.
Let's get let's get everything right for the American people.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time.
where a Democrat will get in. And I hope that the American people are looking at this and going to realize that, wait a minute, we're not going to go through that freaking hierarchy bullshit, where all we're talking about is going after and then you fuckers come out, 25 million. You go in of $60,000 in your fucking pocket. You come out $25 million after 4 fucking years. While we're sitting here, go get him, go get him. They're gonna get Trump. Woohoo! They're gonna get him.
There's got to be
Making up bullshit the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Somebody needs to explain something
And then,
about that.
Of course, you got half of the fucking country, Zig, that is going to be right there with that
Oh, I know.
asshole
Country.
and saying, "Let's go after him."
Country. We'll see at the midterms
Yeah.
what the swing really is in this country and what the vibe is. And
Well, but I mean, the Republicans have always been the type of people that do it to themselves. They fuck themselves every time. Like I said, right now with this ID law, they should just say, you know what, fuck the filibuster altogether, because it's not working. It's just keeping us. You guys win, you win. You get to pass whatever the fuck you want as long as you got the majority. Just like the House. Why didn't the House come up with a filibuster? Huh? Why didn't the House come up with, okay, but you got to have, so many, count them up, however many they have. I'm going brain dead. So 535, so 435, well, which there's more because they got them, the Virgin Islands and shit in there. Mm-hmm. So however many they have, okay, let's count a percentage, and then wham, you got to have that percentage to get anything passed. Of course, thank God for the American people, the fucking Congress has just gave up. They don't pass shit until it comes time to benefit them.
Yeah.
That's about the time that they want to pass something. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Why they have that filibuster, and if it's such a good thing, then why doesn't Congress have it? Why doesn't the House of Representatives have it?
Makes you wonder. Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
I agree.
Yep. So, but so just get ready, people, for Project 2029 if this asshole is elected, because it's a coming.
And we know firsthand because we are from Illinois.
Yes.
So we
live this shit every day.
Yes.
We live this shit every day.
Good point.
Yes. Yeah. So and I mean he's a billionaire with compassion though. I'll give him that. My God. Yeah. Yeah, he's a billionaire with compassion, especially when it comes to his illegals. You don't fuck with his illegals now, he'll be on you, President Trump. So, well, all right, Mr. Zig, I think we can put this one in bed and call it a day. And we hope you subscribe, do all the good stuff to help the channel out. We would sure appreciate it. Bye, everybody.